Today we're talking about what do you do when you've got clingy kids. Welcome to Empowered Kids TV Village Talk. You're here because you know that every family has the potential to be great, and you're willing to push the boundaries of your mindset so that you can create the family of your dreams. Today, we've got an amazing question, and again, an awesome coach joining us to help us answer that question. I'll first introduce our coach, and then I'll give you our question. So today, we've got Kim Muench. And Kim is a speaker, author, and Jai Institute for Parenting certified parent coach who specializes in working with moms of adolescents, so kids around 10 to 25. Passionate about educating, supporting, and encouraging parents to raise their kids with intention and guidance rather than fear and control. Kim empowers parents with compassion and without judgment through her one on one coaching, small group sessions, and local community and online classes. You can also dive deeper into Kim's world as she offers an 8-week online course called Becoming Me While Raising You, a mother's journey to self. How awesome. You can find out a lot more from Kim at reallifeparentguide.com. But Kim, I am so excited to have you with us. Welcome to Village Talk.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicole, for having me today. I'm super excited about listening to the question and helping you figure out an answer that's going to work for lots of moms and dads out there.
All right, so this one is one that I think I can remember when my kids were toddlers. This one comes from Kelly, and Kelly writes, how do you handle clingy kids? I'm at the point where it's driving me crazy. I'm literally in the bathroom in tears writing this. My 1 year old doesn't let me do anything without him screaming or hollering. I can literally just look away from him and he can see me and he's screaming. I can move to a different area of the room where I'm still in his line of sight and he screams and hollers. Yesterday, he was hitting his hand on the bathroom door, basically banging it and screaming like something was really wrong, all because he couldn't see me while I was in the bathroom. I think he has separation anxiety. I'm trying to be gentle and love on him, cuddle him whenever I can, but it's driving me crazy. And no one will listen to me because he doesn't do it with anybody else. Can you please help me?
Oh my goodness. So, okay, let me just preface my answer by saying I have 5 kids. At this point, they're between the ages of 15 and 33. So it's been a while since I've been that mama of a 1 year old. However, I lived through it many times. And first thing I want to say, Mom, is I feel you. And I want to honor. I've been in that bathroom crying myself at times, looking for just a little bit of peace. What I want to say first and foremost, the first thing that comes to my mind is that you need some time for yourself. It is critical during our during the raising of children to have some time to yourself in order to be able to have the patience to parent our children. Now, if you're in a situation where people aren't listening to you, this is what I heard you say in the question, that people aren't listening to you. If it is a situation where your spouse or you don't have a relative, that can necessarily watch your child, find a trusted friend, someone that would give you even 30 minutes of time for you to be able to either take a walk or just take a breath. If you do, like, so I want to encourage you, Mom, first and foremost, to take some time for yourself. Yes, your child, here's the thing, I hear you saying, like, when this child doesn't see me, I can hear the crying. Well, in our mom guts, like, that just like drives us nuts, right? When our child is unhappy and we can hear it. This is why you need to find another trusted human being that you can literally leave your child with, even if it's for as short as 30 minutes, to go out, get away from that crying. Your child, you're leaving this child with someone you trust. It's okay. And that child is going to be okay if you leave it alone or leave it with this other person for 30 minutes and just take a walk and take a breath. I would encourage, I have the Calm app on my phone, which is a meditation app. Just, putting in that and taking a short walk can do wonders for mom. I also want to encourage you,
Kim,
Mom. Yes.
Before you go on, I just wanted to touch on that because I think it's such a beautiful point. And I know a lot of moms, especially moms who might be solo parenting, find themselves in spaces where it's difficult because they don't have that extended network to rely on. And what I can say from my experience, because my reality of having kids was so different to the dream, right? The dream was I would be surrounded by my extended family and I would have grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins. And then I moved millions of miles away and I was just all alone, right? But I had to build that community because when you don't take time for yourself, you can't show up as the best version. And I remember locking myself in the bathroom just to have a cry.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought up the that was going to be one of my other points is I help moms work on their intuition for their own parenting for these unique children who have come through them or to them. However, there is a lot of value in building community. For example, and I want to give this example. If you're having a hard time finding what you need, perhaps it's up to you to create that. I want to tell you this. I started a group called Moms Empowering Moms. It is literally a monthly online Zoom call where mothers of adolescents come. It's a safe space for us to talk with one another about what it's like to be raising teenagers right now. So I want to encourage you, if you can't find the community that you need, sometimes you have to take it upon yourself to create that. And I do, we have 190 members in our group now, and not everybody shows up on the call, right? But to have that safe space where you know that you can go and talk to other moms is super important. So taking time for yourself, building a community or finding a community of like-minded mothers, super important. And then the other thing is, I think knowledge is power. And that's a very well-known cliche, right? But what I mean is this: know all about your toddler, know all about this phase of your child's development, to know that this isn't necessarily abnormal at all, right? I mean, I can remember again being a mother of a young child and not getting that peace of mind, and or not having that even second of quiet, or they always wanted to be clinging on you and stuff like that. From a perspective of a parent who now has teenagers who don't want me anywhere near them, I would say, kind of enjoy those moments. I know, though, I've been that mom. Like, I know you don't want to hear that. Do what you can to enjoy them. Do what you can to nourish your own soul. Find a community of women that you can connect with, and educate yourself on your child's developmental stage that they're in, whether they're 1 or 3 or 5. So important for us to know what's within a range, what's normal for our kids to behave like, so that you're not adding to your stress the anxiety of, is this normal? Okay. And if it's not, or if you really, I mean, one thing that I also did with my kids was really lean on the pediatrician. I wasn't one of those that called with every question, but between their visits, I would make a list of questions that, that I wanted to bring to the attention. Here's what I'm observing. Is this okay? Is this normal? Should I worry about it? Not worry about it? I think, that's another way to educate yourself. So these are all the ways that I think this mom could get some relief and or peace of mind.
I love that you talked about the fact, and I know because I've been in, right? When you're in the heat of battle, it's hard to hear somebody say it's gonna be over. This will pass. I'm like, well, it doesn't feel like it's gonna pass.
Okay.
But I look at my kids and I think all I did was blink my eyes, like. Because and I say to my friends, I say the days are long, but the years are short.
That is so true.
So, and you also, there's this thing where you can't figure out when it's going to be the last time. When is the last time you get to pick them up? When is the last time they will want you to tuck them in at bed? Like, you don't get to see that in advance. So the way to enjoy it is to make sure you're first full.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think the whole notion of building that community so you can get your time is critical. We put ourselves last, but I remember that early stage of parenthood, especially with my first son. I felt like I had disappeared and I had become this machine that just fed and cleaned
Change
people.
pants and yes.
And I was like, where did I go?
Yeah. You know, and mothers do that. They pour and they pour and they pour, and then they're completely depleted. And after that comes resentment. And we don't
Absolutely.
want to get there as a parent.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know my mom told me so many times over the years with all of the different ages and stages my kids were, because they had 17 years apart. Like I had 17 years apart. So I was in like every phase at all times. And it's really about finding joy in the journey, finding peace in the present. It is hard to do that. And that one thing I just want to go back to, if you're a single parent, or if you, and I was one for quite a while, if you really don't have anyone else you can rely on, put your child in a safe space, in their crib, in a safe environment for a few minutes, and then put in those headphones and just breathe in and out. Count to 4, breathe in, hold it, breathe out for 4. If you can do that, take 2 or 3 minutes to do that. And if you did that twice a day and just had that practice, it will mean such a difference to being able to find the joy in this motherhood journey.
Beautiful. I'm just going to give one more tip that I remember when in those early stages, I would try to do my chores when my kids were asleep. So when they were having a nap, that's when I would try to cook and clean. And I realized that's when I should have been taking care of myself rather than trying to figure out how to do more. And when I flipped that switch, and those were the moments I took a 5 minute to rest or to meditate or to get still. On the days I did that, I was a happier mom compared to the mom that had the meal done and the laundry done. But I was irritable because there was nothing left in my cup for me to give from. Yeah. So think about the moments in your day. And I think it's really just a mindset of prioritizing self-care, knowing that when I'm full, I have more to give.
Yeah. And I don't know how to get that in, because, it all sounds good to us because we're kind of looking at it as from behind. And I know so many times I heard that over the years when your kids are in really, challenging stages. But I really, and I think it comes from the wisdom of experiencing that. But I really wish there was a solid way that I could just shake moms and be like, seriously, you really, 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 it's important. It's not so important that the meal is made and that there's no dust in the house, and, not important. The important thing is that you are emotionally attuned to your child. You are emotionally available to your child. And the only way to do that is to take some time for yourself and to nourish, like to get into good habits of eating and sleeping and taking that nap time. And don't do 10 chores on your list. I get it. You want to, I get it. But like, what really needs to be done and what do you just think needs to be done? Do the stuff that really needs to be done, because there are those things, but then spend some time on you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us, Kim.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. Thank you for joining us for this episode. We're all about sharing and supporting this village. So if you found value in this episode, be sure to share it with your family and friends. And remember, this is a weekly show. So if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you'll be notified of our next episode. As we always say in the village, you're just one connection away. With love and gratitude, empower us. Until next time.